Hey, it's Cranky Crypto here. I just want to go over some news. Check this out. India shut down domestic cryptocurrency exchanges. So I guess they didn't shut it down, but some government panel over there, so they should. Their excuse is because breach of anti-money laundering provisions. If you know anything about blockchain technology, you can track every coin unless you throw it through a tumbler or a mixer, which is a whole other story, a little more complicated. But it's a lot easier to trace cryptocurrency than it is a dollar bill of any type, a physical dollar bill. It's a little ignorant, but I understand. One thing I did like over here, other than they mentioned about, here's the this guy who I never heard of. He's the CEO of one of the exchanges there. They're basically just going to shut him down. He's like, hey, we got to at least just regulate and put laws, just like we did with the banks and everyone else. There's, up until 9/11 over here, the terrorists can do just about anything they wanted to within the banking system. So what they do, they put some laws in there, make people feel warm and fuzzy. By the way, the terrorists are still laundering money, but now the dumb ones get caught. So yeah, and this makes sense. And from here, foreign exchange. So basically, what this guy here is saying, because he has half a brain about the open market, much less cryptocurrency, is that if you just shut it down, everyone's just going to go out of the domestic cryptocurrency, and you're going to give money to foreign exchanges, i.e., you're going to be giving money to other countries, and we don't make no tax money to give back to you, India. Over here is exactly what happened to China. This is back from September 15th. And what do you think happened? I mean, you guys probably won't read all this, but Chinese cracked down on them, right? And without going over these too much, what do you think happened? Where it says right down here, essentially, where's it at? It all went down. China all of a sudden stopped doing so much exchanging. Instead, guess what happened? All of a sudden, South Korea and Japan, here it is, the rise of trading volumes in South Korea and Japan. So what did everyone do? Did they just go, boo-hoo-hoo, sorry, Mr. China, Daddy, my government, I guess I'll just take all this money I have invested and throw it out the window because I can't exchange it for anything? No! They went over to different exchanges, and now these countries are generating taxes and a new industry. And that's what cryptocurrency exchanges are. It's a new industry. So China said, get lost. We don't want a new industry. And then Japan and South Korea jumped in and said, all right, we'll take what you don't want, China. And up until this point, China was I think it was China and Japan were the largest in volume in cryptocurrency. The Chinese government basically came in and chopped out one of the biggest markets in exchanges. Good for us, bad for them. So yeah, it doesn't work, guys. Unless you shut down the internet, and let's think about it. China already kind of has shut down the internet, haven't they? They have the most fierce firewall in the entire country. And yet, people still snuck out to Japan and South Korea. Huh, wow, how funny. You mean when your mom and dad say don't go out, and they give you a curfew, you figure a way to sneak out the window? And so many people are worried, terrified the government's going to come in and regulate and shut down Bitcoin or whatnot. And I'm not saying there aren't going to be regulations, but what this dude right here says, it's better. What's the old saying? If you can't beat them, join them. So rather than outlawing them, put in some, reduce the illegalities in the country, make some regulations, and get in there and get your money, government. That's what they do. I really think China is secretly amassing the largest Bitcoin miners. They've actually had it since 2015. I saw some YouTube videos on them, and I think it's the government of China. And I have no evidence, almost very little, so I'm not going to get into that, but I think they're doing it on purpose. Anyway, by the way, China has over $1 trillion U.S. currency in physical dollars. And we don't know exact number because, again, they're very secretive. They're trying to take over the world. And actually, if you saw the September 12th, when the new delegates, which are not elected but appointed by the same regime, they basically went on for 3.5 hours talking about how they're going to take over the world. So I'm not putting words in their mouth. They literally said it for 3.5 hours. We're going to dominate the world. So They literally say it. Not that I can speak their language, but I read the translation. I love this here. Siberians use cryptocurrency miners to heat their homes. Never been to Siberia. I have heard it's cold. What a great idea to heat your home with something that makes you money. What is this? I didn't actually read this. Mining. I'll probably... Yeah, not much to it. It's kind of funny. Times exceeds the cost of electricity, and that's why it's rational to use it this way. Yeah. It's funny, though. It's a funny story. Who knows if it's still financially. I mean, Bitcoin's so expensive. Hopefully they're mining like Litecoin or Monero, something like that. Bitcoin's still dominating. I had to sell most of my Bitcoin, but that's awesome. All right, guys. Well, I guess that's it for now. That's fun news. All right, later.